everyone. Thanks for choosing this podcast. We're your hosts, Em and Kate. Please come join us to chat about anything related to healing and so much more. Hey, Kate, how are you doing today?
Hey, I am doing so much better than last week. How about you?
I'm doing good, actually. I'm really happy because this is our 12th episode.
Yeah, super exciting. We are working on more. Em and I have been trying to advertise ourselves via social media. We haven't posted.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to expand ourselves. We have some social media accounts on the way with some fun interactive posts. No, I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of cool stuff coming on. So thank you for sticking with us and uplifting this lovely little channel.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, the topic, of course, we're going to continue our topic of anxiety today. And that alone for us to create the social media channels and start to think of what we wanna post, that has been anxiety inducing,
Yeah.
no?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, if anything, it was kind of like a stressor, right? But yes,
Yes,
definitely
you are
around the
correct,
lines of anxiety.
yeah. No, you are totally correct. It was more of a stressor than anxiety because I didn't get anxiety from it. And again, I think we talked about this in an episode, but stress is when there is something in front of you that is causing
Mhm.
you to feel. You can say anxiety symptoms, and then
Mhm.
anxiety is more so when there's nothing in front of you that is, like a potential threat, but you still get those racing heartbeat, sweaty palms.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy us talking more about anxiety and our personal stories about it. It's been one, right?
Yeah. Em and I have struggled with anxiety, for a really long time. I would say that there are moments where I feel like anxiety is an old friend, like I referred to it before the last episode, but
Mhm.
in the last week and a half, it's an active friend, and I kinda come to realize that,
Mhm.
anxiety is. I guess I wanna ask, it maybe it's something that all of us live with, and it's just kind of dormant a lot of
Mhm.
times, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, like, that's the goal. And then other times it's in your face. I don't know if anybody can live without anxiety though. How about what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you because technically, if we're thinking about the primordial human, right? We need some mechanism to keep us alert, and anxiety, I feel like, I don't want to say dominates that, but does play a role in it. So it's just human survival, I guess. But in a way, not because it's kind of detrimental.
Yeah. Or I guess me thinking anxiety, we don't have to live with anxiety, which is true to a certain extent. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing or a weekly thing or even a monthly
Hmm.
thing. I think the goal is to create more space from the last time you had anxiety or an anxiety attack.
Yeah. And like to that, I want to attest like personal experience. I usually live with anxiety. I'm gonna come straight forward with that. It's always there. But recently, like you were saying, that space in between, I feel like I had a space from like last year to now where I was almost anxiety free, or more like it wasn't as bad as it used to be.
Or would
And
you say that you were able to manage it better so it didn't turn into a full-blown
yeah,
anxiety manifesting everywhere in your life?
yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely agree with that. So, but then it came back with full force end of August, beginning of September. And I personally don't know, well, I can't pinpoint what is the exact factor that made it just like, you know?
Noble.
Yeah. But I do know that there has been a bunch of events that have maybe contributed to it. And I say this because I've been getting those old symptoms of, like, my body's getting sick, like, physically sick, like, I get flu symptoms, um, I haven't been sleeping well at night, what else? Just the typical racing heart, racing thoughts, breathing, I realize that I'm breathing a little bit heavier than normal, and I'm like, "Yo, what the hell? Calm down." But yeah. What about you? What is that window that you've noticed, like you were saying?
Yeah, I think as you were saying that, I was, also realizing that when I say, anxiety is an old friend, I just mean that it hasn't been exactly dormant, but I've been able to manage it where it doesn't take over my day. It
Yeah.
takes a few moments for me to be in the moment, feel what I need to feel, and then let it go.
Mhm.
Whereas before, like, I would say probably for like from 2018 through 2021, I mean,
Okay.
a long period of time,
Uh-huh.
I was not able to manage anxiety. It would go to the level where I would cancel plans because I
Mm,
was anxious. Like, social anxiety was a really big thing for me that started around that time frame. I remember, like, being out and I was fine, but then when I got to my destination, I started feeling like I couldn't breathe. Like,
mhm.
there were times where I just had to leave. I or Yeah, I just had to leave. I had to go home, and right when I stepped inside my home, everything went away. So I was like, "Okay, big
Yeah.
indicator. I'm healthy. It's just being put in social situations for some reason was giving me anxiety during that period of time." Um, and now reflecting on it, I think that during that time of my life, I didn't feel very good about myself.
Mhm.
So when I would be put in social situations, since I was judging myself so harshly internally, I was thinking that, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go and see friends or meet new people, and they
Mhm.
are all gonna think the bad things that I think about myself." So why wouldn't that make anybody anxious if you're already assuming
Yeah,
that?
no, that's definitely true. It's that, you're stuck in that idea and it's just taking over, and that's producing even more anxiety, and I can definitely relate to that because sometimes I have very nasty thoughts going on, and I'm telling myself, "Why are you thinking this? You need to stop." And maybe it stops for a couple of minutes, but then it comes back.
Yeah, and it's that voice that is so hard to shut up.
Yeah.
And I think in regards to that, I had to, because I don't think that I realized at that point how much that negative voice was present. Like,
Mhm.
I was aware of how I spoke to myself, but um, not how often and not to kind of catch it in real time. So, doing that has been a huge help. But and then COVID happened in 2020, and then it was like feeling I mean, I'm sure so many other people, like just about everyone had really bad anxiety from not
Oh,
knowing
yeah. The Yes, and
if
that
our
definitely marked a lot of people's lives, obviously, for
yeah,
given reasons, but also, like, the communal anxiousness that was happening,
yeah,
very
like
palpable.
the
Yeah.
aftermath, but, like,
Mhm.
during it, I mean, I had huge health anxiety, and did you? Were you, like, worried to get COVID and
Yeah, no, the typical stuff, but I gotta say I didn't have as rough of a time during that time, anxious-wise, or, like, with all my anxiety. I think it was just as normal as it used to be. But also with the whole lockdown, I feel like that actually helped because, I was in my safe space, so that helped a little more.
yeah. That did help me I mean, at first, not gonna lie, I loved it. I was like, "Great, I can work from home, and I can be a homebody, definitely." And it was great, but then it was too much time inside with all this anxious feelings and, sometimes we need to touch grass to calm the fuck down. So,
Yeah, no, they do say nature is a really good help when you have anxiety.
yeah.
But yeah, I think if anything, I felt more anxious when technically, quote unquote, it ended. COVID ended, quote unquote. I say because it's still going on. Well, um, because not only did all of our lives like come to a halt, but the aftermath of getting back into it. During that time, I graduated, and all the opportunities that I had lined up, they went poof because thank you, COVID. And it was supposed to be in that time where my life was going to take a different turn, and I was going to start with my new career, la la la, but it didn't happen. So alas, more stress, more
Oh, okay.
anxiety.
I didn't know that. So that must have been really, frustrating, but also were you feeling lost? Like, "Where do I go from here?" Like
Oh, yeah, definitely. All came down to like, okay, so what is my purpose then? What do I do? And then I got stuck in a job that I didn't want to be in, which also drained me completely, like completely. So I was really happy with leaving that job. And yeah,
and then also being at jobs that drain you and don't fulfill you also cause anxiety. I mean, have you
yeah,
ever experienced anxiety, like, pre-shift, pre-job anxiety, when you're about to go to work and you're just like, your whole body's tensing
yeah.
and
The
Mhm.
impending doom of going to work. Yes. Um, I guess the most immediate thing that I can think about is that before going to work, I can't drink or eat anything because otherwise I'm going to shit my pants because I'm all nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just, anxiety, stress, it affects your bowels too, people.
Yeah. Yeah. It certainly
It may
does.
not be IBS, it may just be anxiety.
No, no, yeah, definitely close friend. I know those symptoms really close, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was at a different job that did not fulfill me,
Uh-huh.
a few years back, and I had been there for, I don't know, I think over a year, and at that point, I knew it wasn't for me. I just
Mhm.
didn't like the way it was run. Anyways, not to go into too many details of
Yeah.
that. I, had an anxiety attack while working.
Mhm.
I remember I left my desk because I literally started feeling dizzy, I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do," like, I'm freaking the fuck out, and I called my mom, and I was like, I I talked to her through what I was feeling,
Mhm.
and my mom has actually helped me quite a few times get through my anxiety episodes. Yes, and after talking to her for 5 minutes, you know, her reassurance of, "Hey, you're not dying.
Mhm.
If you don't like your job, you're freaking out. You've experienced this before. You know what it
Mhm.
is. Don't, like,
Mhm.
question that." And, I think that if you do have somebody who can do that for you, don't be
Yeah.
afraid in the moment. Give them a call.
Yeah, definitely don't feel shame in reaching out to that someone that might be able to stabilize you because sometimes that's the only thing that we need. We just need that stabilizing factor. That someone that's telling you, "Yo, come back to me."
Yeah, for somebody to
Yeah.
ground you. Mhm.
Yeah, definitely someone to ground you. I remember this one experience. How can I say it so people won't have the wrong idea? Well, anyways, I consumed food
Yeah.
that made me a little anxious, and it was a really bad down spiral. And I couldn't get out of my head of thinking about like the most dreadful things and just spiraling in a negative way was horrible. But I had my partner, and he helped me like ground myself again to come back, that nothing was bad, that everything was okay, that I was fine, and it definitely worked. So if you have someone that you trust, Yeah, I mean, please ask for help. It's hard, but it works.
Yeah, and I think even me, who
Mhm,
I've been dealing with anxiety for so long, and I just feel like regardless of where you're at with anxiety, how many years you've had it, there are gonna be times where you do need help, even though you already know how to manage it. Like, even earlier this week, I called my mom again because I was literally going into an anxiety attack over just, like, all these things that are going on in life,
mhm.
and she was able to again ground me and calm me down, and I almost didn't wanna share all of this with her because I didn't wanna put, um, the weight of my issues on her, but I'm so
Mhm.
glad that I did, and after it, I felt so much better, like, I was able to cry, and crying for me is so
It's
healing.
healing. Yeah, it's healing. Definitely it's healing. But I wanna say for those that really don't have anyone to,
Uh-huh.
like, be able to ground or share in all of this, I hear you, I see you, I'm one of them most of the time. Um, what has helped, though, has been talking to yourself, talking to myself, or writing it down, just getting it out of you somehow. Even if there's not like, even if you can't share it with someone, just get it out and see if that works.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I I think it's helpful to remember in the moment, like I try to do with myself when I
Mhm,
do remember, is,
mhm.
I have all this energy, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety is energy, and it's a lot of I mean, think about it like adrenaline releases
Mhm.
when we're anxious. So we our bodies need to be moving to release that. So
Yeah.
you need to go take a run. Go ahead and do that. Even if you're walking or pacing or running around your apartment, dance if you
Yeah, jump.
yeah. Just and I know it's so hard to do it in the moment because you just wanna like or at least for me, I just wanna at times crawl into a ball.
Mhm.
But I know that that's not gonna help, and if I can remember in the moment, I will move. I will I'll just honestly, sometimes I'll just shake my body like a crazy person, and that
Yeah.
helps.
Mhm. No, yeah, and that's what the body needs actually because our brains are kind of even though their brains are kind of stupid, they can't they can't really differentiate what is what, so they think that you're in the life of or death situation. So by doing these actions of releasing that energy sometimes reminds us that we're safe, we're okay, there's no imminent danger.
Yeah, and then the chemicals will leave your body,
Mhm.
and you will feel a lot more grounded.
Exactly.
Um, and then, of course, if you wanna take it a step further at that time, you can reflect on what happened and why do you think all of these feelings are coming up for you.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, I really loved our little chat about how anxiety has showed up in our lives, with our little stories.
Yes, same, and I mean, I'm sure there are a lot more because, again, we have years of experience and
Yes. Mhm.
years of feeling it, not pros at how to manage it, but these are just things that we've learned. If anything, if you can take away anything from here, movement is so important when you're feeling that.
Mhm.
So, move in whatever way you can at the moment, and if you cannot talk to someone, talk to yourself. That is so powerful too.
Mhm.
And what about you? Any like parting thoughts before we end
Yeah,
the
definitely if you can, cry it out. Cry it out. Even if it's like making the facial movements of just releasing something, of yelling if you can. It definitely helps.
Ooh. I think you had shared a story with me earlier this week about the
Mhm.
treadmill and the song. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I would want to share. Maybe somebody can
Well, we're gonna leave that one for next episode because I feel like that has been one of my long term. helpful solutions.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So I think that's it for this week. Um, thank you guys for listening.
Yes, thank you all, and please don't forget we're rooting for you. Happy well, today's Thursday for us, so and we will be posting on a Thursday, so happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend.
Yes. Have a great every day, rest of the days, whatever.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.